Hola, ¿cómo está? Eta Hussein. Yo es el esposo de su hija y su hermana y su tía Judith. Y yo quiere un digue o dígale um, uh, Entonces, palabras, poco palabras para usted. Yo trata en español y si mi español es no mejor, como tú sabes, mi esposa es una mala profesora, desafortunadamente. Dios quiere que yo le gusta las lenguas, yo hablar en inglés y árabe, urdu y otros. Rusi, por ejemplo, нам ще звонил Lucifer и сказал вели труп Stalin и бросить его в канализацию. In any case, that should be enough of an introduction. The purpose in making this movie is simply to express my feelings and my sentiments. I feel very let down, unfortunately, by the family at large. And by the way, before the alarm bells go off and before you start panicking and gossiping and all this rubbish, just you should know that I feel the same way about my own family. I'm the kind of guy who would do anything for anyone, let alone family member. Now, me calling up Patricia and calling her a whore is one thing, but Patricia calling us and asking us if we can help her out in any way, just let that happen, and you'll see that I'll go to the ends of the earth to do whatever I can for any one of you guys, right? And by the way, I made one call, but I made 5 follow-up calls, singing songs and saying sorry and all of this kind of stuff, right? Finally, I learned today that, it's true that in-laws are a great way to destroy a marriage, right? Anyhow, and God bless you, Ingrid, for being such a great supporter and believer over the years. Guys, I just wanted to give you a quick summary of who I am, right? Because everyone has different ideas about me. He's this, he's Pakistani, he's gonna make you wear a veil. You can ask Hudit. To this day, I never once. I told her she should become a Muslim. Why the hell shouldn't I tell her that? And I asked her, do you want me to become a Christian? You might as well know that too. She wears what she likes, she does what she likes, with who she likes, and what she likes, whenever she likes, how she likes, and that's it, period. If she wants something, it's done. And the only thing I ask is that it's not against my religion, and she understands that very well. She's cleaner than most Muslims. She takes more care of the cooking and the right kind of meat and no alcohol. She does that herself better than any Muslim, so I can't ever question her about that. And as far as hygiene is concerned, well, you should know that Muslims, we basically we shave our armpits. I might as well let you know, there's no shame in religion. We shave our armpits. We actually shave our private parts too for cleanliness, and it's part of your faith. They shouldn't be more than a grain of rice in length, okay? And you'll be like, oh, why is this idiot talking about such stupid stuff? Well, you know what? If you're thinking that, then go right ahead. And I'm an idiot and I'm talking about stupid stuff. It shouldn't really bother you as long as you're smart, right? We wash ourselves after going to the bathroom, right? So we're very particular about who we marry. It's not just like a case of, oh, she's a beautiful Colombiana and she's really exotic and she's a successful businesswoman and she's stronger than most guys I know when I met her. Her legs like were just pure muscle, right? She used to squeeze me with her legs. I couldn't even breathe. I used to beg her to stop. We have this beautiful movie going up Montserrat Mountain, and she's like, cansada, oh, mi baby is cansada, pobrecito, amorcito, and all this stuff. I couldn't keep up with her. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm like 10 years younger than her. All right. I have a business degree from the University of Bridgeport, minoring in computer science. Prior to that, I went for a year to University of, it was actually an inter-college in Cyprus, the island of Cyprus. All right, I got a full scholarship for my University of Bridgeport bachelor's degree. So once again, business administration, minoring in computer science, 4 years, I had an $80,000 full scholarship at the undergraduate level. You got to understand, it's rarer than rare. So I got to live there for free, eat for free, study for free for 4 years. All I paid for was health insurance and textbooks and partying, of which there was lots. So what else? What else? Okay, so year 2000, we went back to Pakistan for like 8 months, immigrated out to Canada, blah, blah, blah. So I did everything that people do. I worked in a Mac store, I painted houses, I party cabbed, I waited tables, I, did all kinds of manual work, delivery, worked at McDonald's, worked at Domino's, and then finally ended up in, this is all throughout university. And then finally in the year 2000, oh my God, the light here is terrible, huh? Sorry about the light, my dear viewer, my dear familia. There you go, that's a bit better, right? Marginally. Anyhow, this is important, and I'm only going to say it once, and so, you know what? Once I've said it, my job's done. You can listen to it, or you can erase it. It's totally up to you. And I'm not going to pretend that I have any control over the matter. Of course I care. Of course I'd like you to listen to it and understand that, you know what, I'm just a guy with issues. I've got issues, and I've got more issues than most people, and I'll get to that in just a few minutes. We're already at 6 minutes. I try and keep these things under 15 minutes. So, what else? Yeah, I mean, I might as well add on a side note, I wanted to make this movie for my in-laws as well as for this beautiful girl I know called Empress. And I realized that I don't know a lot about her, and she doesn't know a lot about me. So spent the first 6 years of my life in Scotland, was actually born in Nigeria, then 10 years in Kuwait after Scotland, and then invasion of Kuwait in 1990, went back to Pakistan for a year, then went out to Oman, the Sultanate of Oman, finished my high school there, and went off to Cyprus for a year, then went to the States for 4 years, which turned into 5 years because I partied too hard. And that kind of leads into what's been happening of late. So I finally got into software sales, and so I spent about 10 years working for 3 Deloitte & Touche Fast 50 technology companies, Onvia in Seattle, Active State in Vancouver, which was acquired by the UK-based antivirus giant Sophos, S-O-P-H-O-S. So when people talk to me about viruses and spam and all this stuff, I just roll my eyes, right? And we had like guys in our company, like this guy called Graham Cluley, I guess his name was. He was our spokesman. Virus writers hated him so much that they used to put his picture inside of their viruses, that kind of stuff. In any case, Control F1 in Calgary was acquired by Computer Associates, CA. Moved out to Minneapolis with Hudith in 2007. And I'm glad to say I supported her for 2007, 2008, 2009. We were back in Seattle. The Computer Associates thing didn't last too long. Just because of my bent in nature and the fact that I'm not cut out for the corporate world. I realized a long time ago, finding a job for me, folks, is easy. It takes me 2 to 4 weeks to find a job, and I mean a verbal offer within 2 weeks of starting. And anyone can do it. All you got to do is make phone calls and stop getting in touch with HR people. Don't ever fill in a form and send it to HR or email careers at or blah, blah, blah. What you do is you go to LinkedIn, you find out who's going to be your boss, and you call him directly and you email him directly. Then he's the VP of engineering or whatever. He reaches out to HR and says, hey, I'm the man. This guy sent me his resume from the street, or this lady, she fits what I'm looking for. Just give it a look. And of course, the HR lady is going to call you. And does it work? Of course it works. It works every time. You leave 5 messages like that with the right companies, you'll get at least 2 or 3 interviews, and 2 or 3 interviews is enough to get a job if you know what you're doing. Anyway, I told Irene about the interview skills. Ask, tell, ask. Ask them what they're looking for. Tell them exactly what they just told you, and then ask them, what do you think? Am I a good fit for this role? It's just nonsense. In any case, 2010, my visa in Seattle wasn't renewed, okay? I didn't lose my job at Onvia. I left my job at Onvia, and I got a job at another company called XO Communications, which is like partly owned by Carl Icahn, if anyone knows who he is, I-C-A-N-N. Just like the internet authority, Icahn. All right, I know I'm rambling here. I was meant to be angry and telling you guys how much I hate y'all, but unfortunately, I guess I don't hate y'all. Where are we now? Toronto, 2010, got a job with Oracle. Once again, took me 2 weeks. My buddy Robbie, who lives in Toronto, had been telling me for years to come out there. Went out there, lived with him for a couple of weeks, got the job offer, went back, brought Hudith, blah, blah, blah. It was meant to be a nice new chapter in our hard struggle, and it turned into more struggles. Oracle lasted 6 weeks. Didn't get along with my boss once again. Hey, I'm still in touch with him to this day, right? I'm not the guy who basically kisses up to you, but I'm the guy who will stay in touch. And eventually, over time, you'll realize, what kind of person I am. It's just like Houdin says, I know who I am. I have to prove nothing to nobody, never, anytime, never. The moment you have to start proving something to someone, you should actually go out of your way and disprove that thing. Like, say, for instance, some girl, you're scared that some girl thinks that you're not cool. Make sure that the next time she comes, she knows you're a damn fool. That way you don't have to think about it, and you should be more worried like about the fear itself than the actual situation. I hope whoever's listening, like Ludwin Jr., got that. Keep drinking water, buddy. Good move there. The kid's like, oh, I drink lots of water because I want to be thin so that girls find me attractive. And he's like, what, 13? Anyhow, so yeah, I'm sad because nobody's reached out to me. My wife has been out off the radar for 3 weeks. I'm literally losing my mind here. And it's like, I email people, I got this big Valentine's card downstairs. It's like this big. The goddamn thing is so big, I can't even tell you how big it is. It's like this big. It's literally this big. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It wasn't meant to be. It's getting dark. I gotta pray. So yeah, I mean, here's what happened, folks. What happened is I started smoking weed, okay? After Oracle, I tried to do my consulting thing, sales and marketing for you.com separated by hyphens. I get 500 to 1,000 hits there a day, and just the ads alone on that website chug out a few $100s a month, anywhere from a couple $100 to $500. I mean, I'm working on it right now like a mad dog. I mean, it needs to be. I've been doing this since 2008. It should really be at $5,000 or $6,000 a month, seriously. But I just need to keep updating the content, keep fixing broken links and all kinds of stuff like that. I spent like 6 or 8 hours yesterday just fixing links on my website. It was great. I've been meaning to do that for months. So started smoking weed, and basically 2010, 2011, I got my security license, and I thought I'll work security overnight, and I'll work on my consulting and websites and blog, and I've got 2 unpublished books, guys. I mean, all kinds of stuff like that. Like, I sing like a rock star. I write like Dostoevsky, although I'm a fiction writer, and I also suck. But apart from that, I write like Dostoevsky, or Nietzsche on a bad day, or very bad day, in a bad month, on a bad year, on a bad planet, I might say, in a different parallel universe. Anyhow, the weed actually messed my mind up, guys. That's really what happened. Now, I tell people there's 4 reasons that weed is not a drug. It's not addictive, it's not synthetic, it's not intoxicating, and it's not dangerous. You never see a guy in a hospital bed overdosed on weed. You never see a guy hitting his wife because he smoked too much weed, or kids smashing bus stops and all this kind of rubbish because they smoke too much weed. But for certain people such as myself who are already hypersensitive, weed can cause, basically delusions and psychosis. I might as well just say that. So they diagnosed me with being bipolar. And basically what happens if I smoke too much weed, it basically sends me over the edge. Unfortunately, right now I'm trapped in this kind of continuum where right now, like, I'm kind of hyper, and ultimately it's going to keep boiling up, even if I take my medication. If I take my medication, I'll become depressed and suicidal. But if I don't take my medication, what's meant to happen is I'm meant to calm down. Or if I'm depressed, I'm meant to come back up and just be normal, whatever the hell that is anymore. I don't know. But nowadays, I have to smoke weed from time to time just to calm myself down. Like, I can't sleep sometimes for like days properly. And then I'll smoke some weed, and that will take care of it. All right, well, so there you go. So I'm a good guy, and you guys all suck for not like asking me how I'm doing and all this kind of stuff. And no one sent me her address, and everyone thinks I'm a dick. And you know what? You're right. So I'll leave it at that. In fact, let me just say this. Lo siento para todos. Yo me dice or hace que es no bueno para ningún persona es en la familia linda. All right? Dios te bendiga y Guatemala. Hasta la vista.